Hi kids! Today we are going to be reading a book called Tar Beach. Tar Beach is a wonderful book about a little girl who wants to fly over the city and own things. I think you guys are going to really enjoy this book and our project today.
Tar Beach by Faith Ringgold. I will always remember when the stars fell down and lifted me above the George Washington Bridge. I could see our tiny rooftop with Mommy and Daddy and Mr. and Mrs. Honey, our next-door neighbors, still playing cards as if nothing was going on. And Beebe, my baby brother, lying real still on the mattress just like I had told him to, his eyes like huge flashlights tracking me through the sky. Sleeping on Tar Beach was magical. Lying on the roof in the night, with the star and skyscraper buildings all around me, made me feel rich, like I owned all that I could see. The bridge was my most prized possession. Daddy said that the George Washington Bridge is the largest and most beautiful bridge in the world, and that it opened in 1931 on the very day I was born. Daddy worked on that bridge, hoisting cables. Since then, I've wanted that bridge to be mine. Now I have claimed it. All I had to do was fly over it for it to be mine forever. I can wear it like a giant diamond necklace, or just fly above it and marvel at its beautiful, sparkling beauty. I can fly, yes. Me, Cassie Louise Lightfoot, only 8 years old and in the 3rd grade, and I can fly. That means I am free to go wherever I want for the rest of my life. Daddy took me to see the new Union building he is working on. He can walk on steel grinders high up in the sky and not fall. They call him the Cat. But still, he can't join the Union because Grandpa wasn't a member. Well, Daddy is going to own that building because I'm going to fly over it and give it to him. Then it won't matter that he's not in the old Union or whether he's colored or a half-breed Indian like they say. He'll be rich and won't have to stand on 24-story-high grinders and look down. He can look at the building going up. And Mommy won't cry all winter when he goes to look for work and doesn't come home. And Mommy can laugh and sleep in like Mrs. Honey. And we can have ice cream every night for dessert. Next, I'm going to fly over the ice cream factory just to make sure we do. Tonight we're going up to Tar Beach. Mommy is roasting peanuts and frying chicken, and Daddy will bring home a watermelon. Mr. and Mrs. Honey will bring the beer and their old green card table. And then the stars will follow me around, and I will fly to the Union building. I'll take Baby with me. He has threatened to tell Mommy and Daddy if I leave him behind. I told him, it's very easy. Anyone can fly. All you need is somewhere to go that you can't get to any other way. The next thing you know, you're flying among the stars.
Hey, welcome back! I hope you enjoyed the book Tar Beach. Today we are going to be creating a project by choosing what we would want to have in our city that we could own. So I want you guys to start thinking of some great ideas of places that you would love to own. Places like Target and Walmart and clothing stores and restaurants. Any type of place you can think of. For your project today, you're going to be needing some interesting items. First off, you will need a background piece of paper. A regular piece of printer paper will work just fine. Second off, you are going to need a black marker. You will also need a glue stick, something like this. If you don't have a glue stick, normal glue will work too, or tape. You will need a pair of scissors, and you will be needing some extra paper. Now, if you don't have any fun extra paper like construction paper or colored paper, you can use things like this. A receipt, you guys can use receipts for your project. You guys can use trash for your project. You could even use a napkin, or you could use construction paper. Go ahead and get those supplies and come on back. I think you guys are going to really enjoy our project today. Okay guys, so I'm all ready for our project for Tar Beach. So what I have is a big piece of paper. I decided to cut it into a square just because I like that shape, but you can use a regular white piece of paper if that's all you have. And then I have some other pieces of construction paper. These are just some scraps that I had that I wanted to use on my project. I might use some of these. I also, when digging in my trash can, and I found some things for me to use also on my project, some things for the building. So I have some receipts from Amazon. I have just like this piece of plastic. I have a napkin from Marco's Pizza. And I have a bus ticket that I have from when I visited Chicago. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to turn these into buildings as well. So I have my glue stick and I'm ready to get started. This is basically going to be our sky background. We are going to cover up the bottom so we don't need to be doing grass or anything right now, so don't worry about that. The first thing you guys are going to do is you are going to try to find a piece of paper to place on here. Now if all you have is white paper and loose leaf paper, like a paper that you have lines on, then you guys can feel free to color that paper or to use both of those kinds of papers. So you could use just the loose leaf and make the buildings out of that. That could look really cool. I'm going to start with this building and I'm gonna cut it a little bit shorter. So if you guys have scissors you wanna use too, that's fine too. And I'm going to figure out where I want to place it. I think right on the edge is what I'm gonna do. So I'm going to take my glue stick. I always glue on the object that I am placing. So I never glue on the background paper. So I'm gluing this green building, so I'm going to put glue on the green building. So I'm going to put glue on the back of the green building. You don't need a ton of glue. Just make sure it's nice and covered. Make sure you get those corners so they don't peel up. Then what I'm gonna do is I'm going to flip over this piece and I'm going to pick where I want it glued and I'm going to glue it down. Now, this really solves that problem of when there's sticky glue on their paper. Look at my paper is so nice and smooth. There is no glue on my paper. So that's awesome. So now I'm going to take something else. I'm gonna try to find something else I wanna use for a building. This could be a cool small building. I could flip it over and it could be white. Doesn't really matter. So I think I'm gonna use this. I'm going to, maybe I wanna make it a bridge actually. Maybe I'm gonna wait on that. Maybe I'm gonna use some of this paper. I'm gonna use this paper. So I'm gonna cut it to how I want it. Oh, and look at the back. I didn't realize how green that pretty back was. So I'm actually going to put it on this way. I think I might cut the top so it's straighter. Awesome. So I'm going to, once again, flip my object over that I'm gluing, glue on the back. Flip it back over, and look what I did. I put it over my first object just a tiny bit. This makes it look like this building is in front of this building. So that building is nice and on there, and ooh, look at how shiny that is. That looks like a really cool building. Next up, I think I'm gonna use this receipt for a building. This could be like a chubbier building. But you know what, actually, I think I'm gonna place one building over here to give my picture a little bit more structure. So I'm gonna use a brown piece of paper for this building. And that's a little bit tall, so I'm just gonna trim it a tiny bit. And I even might give it a cool shape on top. I might round the top a little bit. It's kind of cool. I like how that looks. I'm gonna put that one there. Remember, I'm flipping it over to glue it down. Now, if you can't find a glue stick, remember, you guys could just use regular glue too, but I think glue stick is much easier. So there we go. Gonna glue that right on there. Oh, look it, and now this fits perfectly there, and I can put this right here. And I might even flip this over so it's just a white piece of paper. I'm gonna do that. So what I'm gonna do is I'm going to put my glue on the back of my receipt. I'm going to place it where I want it to be. And there, it's all glued on. Remember, I'm going to do the same thing on here. I'm gonna glue on the back of the object that I'm placing. And then I'll place it. I want you guys to notice how I covered the entire bottom of my paper. So see, I got the whole thing covered, and see, I didn't even use some of my things that I was gonna use, so I can just push those to the side. I don't need those anymore. And all my little scraps I'm gonna make sure to go and throw away. So now that you guys have made it this far on your project, it is time to start adding some details to the building. So I want you guys to think of your favorite places to go, your favorite stores, your favorite restaurants. That's what we are going to be naming our buildings after. And you guys can use a marker or you could use a crayon. I would prefer you to use the color black, but you can use whatever color you want if you really want to. So one store that I really like to go to, and I'm sure a lot of your families like to go to, is Target. So I'm gonna make this white building in the front my Target. So I'm gonna write Target. I'm gonna write it right on the building, and then I'm actually going to draw the logo, I think, too. Because that's an easy logo. I think we can draw that. Awesome, so I have Target. Let's think of another store that I like to go to. Ooh, maybe I like to go to Dave & Buster's, the place that has all the cool games. So maybe I'll write that. I'll write it on this big building. I'm gonna write Dave & Buster's. And notice how neatly I'm writing so that people can read the places that I want to go to. Next up, I think I want to add a clothing store. I think I'm going to add, ooh, maybe Gucci. That sounds fun. I'm gonna do Gucci. There, I have Gucci on my buildings. This actually right here isn't going to be a building. I'm going to make this into a bridge. And then also this building, I don't think I can write with my marker on that. Yeah, no, that's not gonna work. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna find another piece of paper. Maybe I'll do white. I'll use a white piece of paper. I'm using this other receipt I have, and I'm going to actually cut out a little rectangle. Oh, perfect, that's gonna fit nicely on there. And I'm going to glue that on the top. This way, I can write on it. Awesome, so now I can put another store here. Maybe I will put Walmart. Awesome. So now I have Gucci, Walmart, Target, Dave & Buster's, and a bridge. I think this looks awesome. The next thing that you guys need to do is you guys need to add windows to your buildings. So I'm going to start by adding windows to my Gucci building. Actually, I'm gonna start with the Dave & Buster's building. So I'm just going to draw some rectangles. Just like this. Maybe I'll draw a door at the bottom. I'm gonna draw now some letter T's inside my windows to give them that frame to make them actually look like real windows. Isn't that crazy how much they can look like a real window if you add that T? Awesome. I think I'm gonna add some circle windows on Target just for fun. I'm still doing that T on the inside. Maybe I'll do a double door for Target. Because Target usually has those big doors that go open. Now Walmart is too shiny, so I'm just gonna skip Walmart. I'm not gonna do any buildings on Walmart. I'm going to pretend that Walmart is an all glass building, so it already has windows built into it. Next up, I'm gonna do Gucci. And you can do small windows, you can do big windows. I imagine Gucci would have some really random, cool windows. So I'm gonna do some little windows and big windows. And I'm gonna add a door. I'm gonna do a double door on Gucci. Maybe I'll put the letter G on those Gucci doors. Awesome, so I have my windows on my buildings, I have their names, and now I wanna work on my bridge. So I'm gonna draw some dots. I'm going to connect the dots, and then connect them down like this. And I'm gonna draw some lines. So you could pretend that cars would be driving over this bridge into the city. Okay, once you have made it to this point, you are done for the day. So we have made our nice background, we have some buildings, we used some trash, we even recycled some things to put in our project. We picked out our awesome names for our buildings because these are all places that we would love to fly over and own, just like the story. And then here is a building that we made. I think this turned out super, super nice. I hope you guys had fun doing this today. Make sure that you save this because next week we are going to be adding some extra fun things in the sky. We are going to be adding ourselves, but I'm going to teach you a special way to do it. So make sure that you keep this project until next week. The last thing I want you to do is flip your project over and make sure your name is on the back. So I'm gonna write Miss Combs. That way I know that this project is mine. So go ahead, make sure you write your name and save this project for next week. Don't forget to fill out that Google form. All right, I hope you guys had a great time today working on this project. I hope you guys had a wonderful time doing our Tar Beach project part 1 this week. Make sure you guys save your artwork because next week we are going to be adding on to it. We are going to be adding some special things. So I think you guys are going to really like it. So please, please, please hold on to this artwork. Do not throw it away. Keep it for next week. Don't forget to still fill out the Google form for 3rd grade. It is still required for this week. I hope you guys had a great time and I can't wait to see you again next week. Bye guys.